They say you are what you eat, so I don't eat chicken feet. But I love me some of Grandma's pickled beets. Well, cut it up, put it in the pan, throw it over your shoulder and see where it lands right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Maters, taters, beans and corn, the cows in the barn and the sheep's been shorn, kids in the barnyard chasing Grandpa's chicken. Chicken. Spices, slices, cuts and dices, gonna slash your grocery prices right here in Farmer's Kitchen. Help you grow your garden good with recipes to suit your mood. Try some grub you've never tried before. Smash it with a wooden mallet. Gonna educate your palate. Right here in Farmer's Kitchen. In Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. We're gonna cook something good now. Hello and welcome to Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen. Look who's with us. It's Mac from Elmwood Stock Farm.
Thank you.
You know what? We had a conversation and you got all kinds of critters.
Right.
And critters nowadays need guarded.
Absolutely.
And so way back, we made a deal. You
Right.
wanted these guys for your farm, and their names are
Zeus and Roman.
So they're gonna guard chickens, turkeys, sheep.
Yep.
Now see, they've already been around chickens and they've already been around sheep.
Okay, good.
They've been right in the middle of them the whole
Nice.
time, so they should be
Nice.
ready for that. Now I'm gonna put her down. She wants to get down and play.
Well, it's a good time of year because we're home. We're not as busy in the summer. We can help get out there and work with them.
Recently, we started thinking about that thing that you talked about. And I'm thinking, okay, wait a minute. This comes right here, comes to your house.
Right.
That's pretty cool. So we got our first bag last Thursday.
Nice.
And kind of tell us what was in it.
Yeah. So we don't know what's going to be in it until the day before. Like, okay, what's ready? Is the broccoli ready? No, we need to wait a few days.
Yeah.
So, and here we got sweet potatoes, leeks, kale. We make no apologies for putting kale every week because you need to eat kale.
Yeah.
So it's a good mix of greens and starchy and fruits, whatever we got.
But I'm digging through here, and I saw what all was on the list. I turned it over, and there's recipes.
There you go.
And we've got everything in here. So tonight, because I didn't feel like messing around with anything, and I didn't really want to go out to eat, I looked at your sweet potato leek soup.
Good, nice.
That's what we're having tonight.
Let's eat.
For dinner. Doesn't that sound good?
Good.
You know what? Not too long ago, we went to one of our favorite restaurants in Stanford. It's called the Bluebird.
Okay.
And it's all farm to table. They do everything fresh there. And I talked to Bill not too long ago, and he says, have I ever showed you how to cut a chicken up? I mean, to take that thing apart, just to break it down. To me, that was a great idea.
Right.
So he took it, broke it apart, and made some wonderful chicken recipes. Let's go to the Bluebird right now. Hey, we're back at the Bluebird with Chef Bill Hawkins.
Good to
It's
see
been a
you.
while.
It has been a while.
Last
to see you.
time we talked, there was some Elvis. What was it?
It was a meatloaf. We did
It was
meatloaf.
delicious.
Yeah.
It was absolutely delicious.
That was great.
Now we're here at your restaurant, the Bluebird. Fantastic food.
Thank you.
You try to do as much local as you can. I know some of this stuff you grow in your own garden. It's really cool what's going on. And I know today's a chicken day. This is Todd's stuff.
Todd Clark.
Absolutely. He's been on before. I mean, chicken, first of all, is you can do so many things with it.
Yeah, most consumed meat in the United States.
And there's nothing better than just a roasted chicken. How simple can you get? You know, we're doing two things today. Actually, we're doing three. You're going to show your recipe for the beautiful golden chicken we've got sitting over here. You're also going to have your young fella come in and show us how to cut a chicken out, part a piece of chicken out.
Right.
A lot of us need to know how to do that.
That's important.
How to.
Yeah.
Then you're going to take those pieces of chicken and give Chef Bill's famous recipe for putting it on the grill.
Exactly. For what I'd call it a Memphis dry rub. I worked in Memphis for 5 years. I worked with the Elvis Presley Enterprises on Beale Street, and we had a club called Elvis Presley's Memphis. Well, if you're going to be in Memphis, you've got to do barbecue. Yeah. It's just, you have to do it. So this was our rub at the restaurant. And it's a pretty simple one to put together. It's basically, I'll go through it with you real quick here if you like. It's garlic powder. We've got an onion powder. And these are all about equal parts, actually. Black pepper, I use a coarse grind. Sea salt, that should be about half as much as the others. And then you've got a cumin there.
Gotta have that.
Chili powder.
That's already smelling pretty good right there.
Yeah. Paprika. cayenne for some punch, and I'm only going to put about half of that in there, and then brown sugar.
That's what I'm talking about.
And relatively speaking, I would like to have about 5 times more brown sugar. And then we just mix it up. We'll mix this up, and after Cody cuts down our chicken for us, that was what I was thinking. What do most people do with cut down chicken? They take it outside and they put it on the grill. What's better than some barbecue spice and some barbecue chicken?
Now, let's talk about throwing this cat in. What are you going to do to him?
I'm just going to take the lemon.
Gotcha.
And I really can't do too much. And then the rosemary and thyme. And I'm going to go ahead and just stuff him with it. And you know, if you've got any neck and giblets in there, take that out first, obviously. And this is just going to get you all that nice herby flavor without, like you said, trying to eat a pine tree.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to fill it up in there, and that's about all there is to that. Now, I don't know if many people do this at home, but this is one of the things in the trade. We always take the wings and pin them down.
Aha.
And that makes a nice base. See how level he sits and everything now? And then this is a mixture here of salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and paprika. And so really what I want out of this skin is I want it to come out crispy and salty. This is my chicken potato chips. And we'll just season all that up real good. I'll get him coated.
So pop him in at what temperature and how long?
You know, I would go 350. There's not going to be any general rule on how long because it's going to vary on the size of the bird.
Right.
For a bird this size, he's going to be 350 for about an hour and a half. And this is probably about a 4-pounder.
There's the end product over there, still steaming.
Yep.
Cody's going to come out and show us how to dismember. That's not a very nice way to say it.
Yeah, right.
Take apart.
Take them apart.
Let's take them apart, and then we're going to come back and show you with your famous Memphis grilled chicken.
Yep. Sounds
All
great.
right, thank you, man.
Appreciate you.
All right. Cody, what are you going to do today?
I guess I'm going to show you guys how to cut down a chicken, you know, the odds and ins and out. We're going to start with cleaning it out. You want to get rid of your neck. And I always start with my legs away from me so that way I can cut down the sternum.
I'd say a sharp knife might be important here.
Oh, it's very important. It'll give you a tough time if you ain't got that. So you're going to want to pull this chicken skin apart, and sometimes it can get tough, so that way you can find your breast. And you're going to want to pick a side on the left or the right of the sternum, and you're going to come down, and you'll find your tenderloin. And on the back side of that's going to be your wishbone. So you're going to want to make sure you cut around that. And you'll have you a nice chicken breast. And then next you'll have you a nice tenderloin. So then after that, I'll flip it over and take my legs and thighs and my wings off. Actually, I've only been cutting chicken for about 6 months. I've done beef primal for 2 years.
Looks like you've got the hang of it.
The legs and the thighs are a little trickier. You're going to want to separate your skin so you can find your bone. You're going to want to pop that out. And there's your basic cuts right there. You know, after that, you're not going to have nothing. This will be for your chicken stock or anything like that. So you just want to get rid of that. And then on your legs and your thighs, you're going to want to pop them out again. If not, you'll cut right through the bone. You won't be able to tell. And it's not always as easy as that. Sometimes you just got to find the groove and get in it. And there's your basics of cutting down a chicken.
Thank you so much.
But anyway, we would just take these. Cody broke down for us. And like you said, skin on, skin off. You know, we just take them, get them in a bowl, put a little oil in there. And the oil is just going to keep it from sticking to your grill is all that is. So you can use any kind of oil you like. I tend to avoid olive oil. Olive oil turns on you at 350 degrees.
Right.
So unless you're working at low temperatures, you want just a vegetable oil or something like that. And then we'll take that and the barbecue spice that we made. And in Memphis, honestly, they would not be grilling it like I am. They would be smoking.
Right.
But here, I've got grills. I don't have a smoker. I've got a grill at home. So this is what I do.
It's a quicker turnaround, too.
Yeah, it is. So we get that oil and that spice all over there. And you notice I am not bashful with the spice. I'm going to get quite a bit on there. Really cover it up good. And then I'm just going to take it over to the grill here. So I've got all that seasoned. We'll get that on the grill. Good, nice heavy coat. And get that nice, wonderful Clark Farms chicken grilled up here in Memphis style.
Thank you, Todd.
And so here's where we ended up. We just took, now, since this is Kentucky, I did a little bourbon and honey in the barbecue, and I could supply you with a barbecue sauce recipe, but it's a basic barbecue with a little bourbon honey. If I was at home, I'd just take, you know, a local barbecue that was already made and put a splash of bourbon and honey in there. You do need to cook your bourbon, otherwise it's a little intense, so cook that alcohol out of there, but then work with it. That's the Memphis dry rub, grilled with a local Kentucky barbecue.
And here's the really tough part of my job. I don't have any choice but to try this.
Oh.
So I'm gonna go right under here. Oh, wow.
Not too bad?
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. You know what? I'd shake your hand, but I got chicken on me. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
You're keeping it real, keeping it down home, keeping it local, right here at the Bluebird. You know where it is. You need to come visit. This is delicious.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I didn't mean to take your chicken, but I wanted to get in on it too.
That's good stuff, man. Thank you so much. So, you think about chicken. Now, that was wonderful chicken we just had there. Things you can do with the chicken. You can turn your chicken into a stew. You can turn it into a, gosh, rotisserie chicken. What else can you turn a chicken?
So we don't overwork it. You know, the chicken, let it speak for itself when it's a good chicken. We just put it on the grill, salt, pepper, a little rub marinade sometimes. Wintertime, just bake it in the oven, a slow roast.
That's all you need. So you can turn it into a quick and easy recipe, or you can turn it into a bald eagle.
What's a bald eagle?
Huh?
What's a bald eagle?
What do you mean bald eagle? You can't turn a chicken into a bald eagle.
No.
Yes, you can. Watch this. We crossed the river today to see my old buddy Jim Day. I've known you for a long time.
A long time.
You know, when we first started talking, you were into taxidermy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you bumped it up a notch and you started doing all this interesting stuff. Now, I took this eagle with a bow and arrow on the river. There's not one part or piece of this critter that is bald eagle. Nothing.
No, they're all made from turkey, chicken, and goose feathers, all domestic feathers. The feathers are all ironed and straightened and shaped and trimmed, and each one individually airbrushed to their right color. The heads and the feet are cast from real specimens, but I'm federally licensed to mount bald eagles that have been found dead in the wild. So,
Wow.
you know, when I get an opportunity, I'll cast the head and the feet, and that's how that came about.
So we're sitting in front of the old chicken coop. Do you like
Future Eagles of America.
First, I want to say that you're an extraordinary artist.
Thank you.
Now,
I
I've seen
appreciate
some of
it.
your sculptures. I mean, here's one of was it William Cody?
Yeah, Bill Cody.
Famous Western entrepreneur, wild man, out of control dude.
He was kind of my hero, and decided to do the sculpture of the bust. It's been many years ago now. I'd say about, 15 years ago, I think. I believe you have something I
A
carved.
whale?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Yes. Yeah,
You
I'd
were doing
almost
this stuff
forgotten about
way
that.
back then. You did this Indian, this
Yeah,
beautiful
this is
specimen,
a
life
Pawnee
size.
Indian. Mm-hmm.
What attracted you to even have such a thought concept to do something like this?
Ever since I was a kid, I had a keen interest in birds, especially birds of prey. And I got into taxidermy when I was 12 years old and piddled with that up until the time I got old enough to get a real job. And I was sitting in a factory one night back in the 80s, early 80s, and I was sitting in my station reading an Outdoor Life magazine, and I saw a Winston cigarette ad with a bald eagle in it. And I'd had quite a bit of experience with mounting birds by that time, and I thought, wouldn't it be neat if you could reproduce something like that would be, you know, sellable. So that weekend, I went to local farms and started looking for chickens, turkeys, geese, anything I could find for feather donors. And I worked for about a year and a half or so before I finally produced something that even remotely resembled a bald eagle. And that's how it all started.
Where's that first eagle at?
Probably in somebody's garbage can. It's in a landfill by now. Then in 1995, I thought I'd gotten pretty good with them, and I entered one in the World Taxidermy Championships in Georgia, and I won Best in World Recreation Artist that year.
You've kind of gone global on us. Tell us about China and what was going on over there.
Yeah, back in 2006, I got a phone call from some people in the Hamptons in New York, and they were supplying a museum in China, in Tianqiwei, China, with all types of species of birds and stuff, and they hired me to do harpy eagles, Vietnamese white-winged duck, snow geese. I had to recreate those too because they weren't legal to ship, across seas. And I think I did a toucan, did about 8 birds for the Hong Kong Wetland Park.
Do you know how many states that your work has graced? How many critters do you have out there around the world now?
I would say almost every state.
No kidding.
Yeah, I'd say we got them most all covered by now.
I guess I guess you've got it down to a science, but how long does this take for you to put?
It generally takes, it depends on the pose and everything else involved, it generally takes around a month if you start from start to finish. I usually have 3-4 birds all in different stages.
At any given time?
And I do have help that comes in and they trim feathers and things like that, and that saves me a tremendous amount of time. And so we usually average about 25 to 30 birds a year, but that's really, keeping us busy.
Well, I tell you what, you do beautiful work. It's an honor to just come talk to you again and see, and first of all, just to catch up.
Yeah, I know. It's great seeing you.
We're pretty like-minded critters, and it's good. I want to take a look around your farm area. You have a beautiful place.
Well, thank you,
Thank you
Tim.
so much for having us out. Now we can visit.
I appreciate it.
We're buried in vegetables.
That's a good thing.
You know what? CSA, Community Supported Agriculture. All right, he's in Scott County. Here's the way this works. We had to try it. We couldn't resist.
Right.
Our garden, we had a so-so garden this year, but we're getting a lot of critters that are taking up our pasture space. This is what he does. So I'm like, hey, he can
Sounds
grow it.
good.
He can grow it, and we'll go pick it up at Wilson's Nursery. And we're gonna make a soup.
I love soup.
A sweet potato leek soup.
Yum.
But first, before we eat, we must be entertained.
Okay.
So recently, I heard on the front porch somewhere a banjo.
Beautiful music, beautiful music.
Not from Deliverance, but from the Moron Brothers. Pretty close.
I'm Lardo.
And I'm Burley.
And we're the Moron Brothers. Got a frog in my throat. Well, the night he's born down on the riverbank, said his mama took a big stiff drink, haul off, smacked the far out of its sap. He could swim like a beaver before he could walk, chewing spitbacker before he could talk. Said he cut his first tooth on an old steel trap. Take some muddy river water to quench your thirst. He'll eat anything that won't eat him first. Walked on forward with a bow in his back. He's a lonesome critter when the cows call. River rat lets out a bud curdle and squall. I swear it'll make the hair stand up on your neck. His daddy was a riverboat gambler, just a passion too. His mom was an outcast Cherokee squaw and died. He was too. Raised in a cave by an old mama wildcat. Boy ain't got no name in him. Everybody called him a river rat. I remember when River Rat came to town, he had love on his mind, looking around, and the men and the women and the kids run for the light. Except for Almina Bottoms, partial to him. Bless her heart, she was ugly as sin. Or out there on the Main Street, River Rat made her his wife. Now, how's been them Tucker River Cliffs, they say river rat still exists. When the moon is full, he cries out for his mate. There's been several people went to look for him. Some of them ain't come back again. Said the river rat cut them all up for catfish bait. His daddy was a riverboat gambler just for passing through. His mom was an outcast Cherokee squaw and dad was too. Raised in a cave by an old mama wildcat. That boy ain't got no name and everybody calls him a river rat.
All right, one more thing. You're gonna miss the puppies?
I am, but I got a question for you.
What?
What's with this?
You don't like it?
I like it. I mean, I like it. Did you forget to shave today?
It's fall.
I like it a lot.
I'm trying to look like the brawny guy.
You look like the brawny guy, especially with the shirt. I like it. I do like it.
Serious?
Yeah, it makes me know that winter's around the corner.
All right, let's do this recipe. Let's quit talking about our facial hair. All right, sweet potato and leek soup. Let's tell you what's in it, and let's tell you how to cook it right now. You're gonna need 1 onion, chopped. So basically what we're gonna do here is saute our onions with butter. Now obviously you can do this inside. You don't have to do that outside, but we like to cook outside. 3 cloves of garlic. We're gonna add a little bit of garlic like we do right after that. 2 to 3 leeks. Now that's with the tops removed, and we just cut the white part. We're gonna chop that up, sliced in rounds, and we're gonna cook for 3 to 4 minutes until everything gets nice and soft. Then we're gonna come with our cumin, 2 teaspoons of cumin. I love that stuff. And we're gonna stir that up. Then 4 cups of vegetable or chicken stock. We're gonna use chicken stock, we love our chicken stock. 4 medium sweet potatoes chopped in 1/2-inch pieces. Mighty fine chopped up there. We're gonna bring that to a boil, simmer for 10 to 15 minutes until the sweet potatoes are soft. That's why I like to cut them up small.
Yeah.
All right, now here's where we're gonna salt and pepper to taste. All right, at this point, we're gonna put about 1.5 cups of coconut milk in here. I'm telling you what, this is kind of fantastic. At this point, we're gonna blend it up a little bit. I wish you could smell this. I am telling you what, again, we've stepped outside of our comfort zone, and I think we're gonna be very happy for that. You smell that, Nikki?
It smells delicious.
I tell you what, we're losing light
Yes,
fast.
we are.
Days are getting shorter. But you know what that means? More soup.
That's right. This looks delicious. Can I
You know
try?
what? I'm telling you what, I've already been sneaking tastes. Is that unique?
Oh, wow. That's really good.
Now this is the joy of cooking right here. I have a friend on Facebook who says, do you really like that stuff or are you acting? First of all, if it was bad, we would not show you. A lot of people try almost every recipe we do.
Yeah.
And we're batting 100. I think we're batting 10,000 on this.
This is delicious.
Isn't this nice?
Really good.
Now, does that just scream fall? But it's almost got a little, it's almost like a nice Indian dish.
You know, I thought I liked your squash soup, which I do, but this is right up there with it. This is really good.
If you like this recipe, I know we can find some more. TimFarmersCountryKitchen.com. Hundreds of recipes, how-tos, all kinds of fun stuff. And we have a Facebook page, Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen Facebook page. We want you to be our friend. We have a bunch of them, and we share stories, we share recipes. It's been another wonderful half hour. We have done everything. We've taken a chicken apart, and we even turned one into a bald eagle. How many times have you done that?
That's amazing. I've never seen that done before. Wow.
And then we have the most wonderful soup ever.
Yes, we do.
So, a half hour's over, which means it's all about
Good times.
good friends,
And time to eat.
good
eats.
eats. See you next week. Tim Farmer's Country Kitchen, brand new.